Hello and welcome to the Indie Mind video review of Finger Hoola from development studio Plantpot. When I tackled the written review for Finger Hoola, I chose to focus on the game's reliance on intuitive gameplay. It's probably the most striking aspect of the game, and to me the most interesting. There's not a lot of hand-holding as every feature of Finger Hoola relies on the player's intuition to figure out how to play the game, how the scoring system works, and even how to navigate the menu system and change the settings. In some cases, I felt like the developer took this concept a little too far, because it has the potential to confuse the player. For a larger discussion on this aspect of the game, you can read the full written review at theindiemind.com. I want to spend more time in this video talking about how the game is actually played. The basic form of the game provides players with a hula hoop positioned next to a vertical column representing a musical scale. The column is broken up into sections that represent a single musical note. There's a sliding bar on the column that can be raised or lowered by spinning the hula hoop faster or slower. This is done simply by the player spinning a finger clockwise or counterclockwise within the confines of the hoop. Each level consists of a series of notes that must be played one at a time, each for a couple of seconds. This requires spinning the hula hoop at a speed that keeps the sliding bar on that note for the required amount of time. This is pretty easy early on, but as the game progresses, the sections representing each note get smaller in size, making it harder to maintain the bar within that range. The difficulty is increased when the game adds alternating hoops, each with their own scale. The final challenge leap comes when the player must simultaneously keep two hoops going at the same time in order to maintain two notes. It works well enough, but for those of us who aren't ambidextrous, it's going to naturally be easier hitting the note played by the dominant hand. With the iPad, it also means you'll need a flat surface to rest the device on while playing. I mentioned the musical scale element of the gameplay, but not the actual audio. Each level has its own ambient background music that ranges in tone from bright and upbeat to somber. In a nice stylistic choice, the color palette of the level will generally match that tone. As the game is played and notes are added to the background music, it creates an almost meditative-like sound. On the easier levels, it's possible to sit back and enjoy that new agey sort of feel, but on the later levels, players will be so focused on the hula hoops that that experience unfortunately takes a back seat. Overall, I really enjoyed the game. The controls are responsive, and playing the game is more about the experience than following a goal-oriented structure. The only complaints I have are with how ambiguous some of the features are, like the settings in the scoring system, the latter of which I never actually really figured out. When all factors were considered, I ended up rating the game 4 out of a possible 5 points. Although this review was conducted using the iOS version, the developers have also created a port for Android devices. For another look at Finger Hoola, you can read the full written review at theindiemind.com. Thank you for watching our video review of Finger Hoola from development studio Plantpot, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. For more indie gaming coverage, be sure to check out theindiemind.com.